Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
You got if I do which one's
double of you
on there? That one there's that one. See if I turn that one that way. That's the camera I was trying to get working like the other day, and we couldn't because Maya was annoying me.
Yeah, it looks like I'm facing that way on your camera.
There you go.
What are you doing?
Okay, so if I turn my camera that way. Hey, see?
It looks like I'm facing like.
And Dawn's in the house. Hi, Dawn.
Hi. Are we on yet or not?
Yeah, we're on, yeah. We've been on for the last 10 minutes.
I'm just trying to get the live up on so I can see the chat. There you go. Hi, everyone.
We were live when you were putting on your bra.
My bra?
What are you doing?
Hair's looking nice, Maya.
Thank you.
Bit wavy.
Yeah, I got it done the other day. It was like proper long
down my shoulder because you messed about with the camera angle.
Yeah, but it looks better. See, look, I moved it. Now look.
See?
Just put it here.
Yeah.
Camera over.
Oh, hello.
There we go.
There we go.
Can't get rid of her, Dawn. Can't get rid of them, can you?
I know, they're awful. You do like hanging round.
Your absolute best, but you just can't get rid of them. They're annoying.
No,
anyway, lovely to see you, darling. As everybody can tell, I'm wearing my Ghost 22.
Yeah,
and we have
I've
got my.
I keep forgetting which side it's on.
We've got our
advertising.
Well, you've got to get your Ghost 22. We've got to get that sorted.
I know.
Right, so and we have a special guest tonight. Don't forget, special guest. Paul has come, or Obi-Wan as we like to call him. Paul will be on in a wee while, and we'll be going through all of the stuff that he has invented this for. But I've got a couple of things I want to share with the group tonight. And tonight is Dawn and I had a quick word earlier on, and we were saying, okay, where are we going to go with the show tonight? And I said, you know what, Ghost 22 is or paranormal ghosts is, we tend to look at spirits and creepy things and all that stuff, but we never look at the positive side of the paranormal. So I thought, I said to Dawn, why don't we look at the positive side tonight? Because weirdly enough, as of recent, there's been quite a few sort of what they're claiming as angels being caught on camera. There was one I was watching on YouTube, and there was a guy on a little sort of like a little, I don't know, three-wheeler bicycle thing or moped or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, and as he was going on to an intersection, he was going to get literally pancaked by a truck. And you see this person who's walking along the side of the road just go like that. And all of a sudden, the guy's facing the opposite direction and getting up his truck on, what the heck just happened? And you see this figure going like that.
Yeah.
You see him, the guy put him down and zip off again. So, angel, or are we really starting to see the what we see on the likes of the Avengers, people who have evolved even further?
Maybe. You never know, do you? I've got a friend in America, and he will swear blind that he can remember pulling, those big like cross junctions that they have in America, like 6 lanes wide. He was going through one of those, and a car came at him. He said he saw it out of his peripheral, and he felt it. Well, he hit them, but he said that he felt like him and the car went translucent, and he literally felt the other car go through him, and he came out the other side, and he was like, what on earth just happened? Because he could see the car going that way. He could see that driving forward, and they must have hit each other, but he came out safe and sound on the other side.
Interesting. This is very, very interesting. So tonight I got a couple of angels caught on camera to look at.
I've got my angel numbers. I printed off a load of, you know, you get your repeated numbers.
Yeah.
So I printed off like the first 1,000 of the angel numbers today. So if anybody's getting repeating numbers, like you have your 111.
It's happening again. It's happening again. It was happening at 111 again today. It was happening yesterday. And every time I turned around, 111 was there.
Well, 111, I just read it to Tegan because it's Tegan's angel number.
Yeah.
And 111 is syncing with higher purpose, actualizing aspirations, and spiritual enlightenment. So if you meditate on that message, then you'll get more information.
Now, I have something really. After we say, I mean, Maya, you should be really saying hello to everybody, shouldn't you?
I know, but you guys are talking, so I don't know.
What we should first of all
get word edgeways with me and Paul.
Well, what we got to do is we've got to say hello to all of the lovely people who've joined us tonight. So I noticed before I even got into this, you know, I was doing some couple of bits in the studio. Denise and Lynn had already been in at 1:45. They're way ahead of the game.
Wow,
Denise and Lynn, welcome. Well early. Julia Evans, good evening. Let's have a look on down. Rob G, hi from the soggy Los Angeles. I never, ever, ever thought I would ever hear those words. LA and soggy in the same line. There's something wrong. If LA soggy, there's something wrong. Stephen Russell, hi, I'm Paul Russell's paranormal colleague. Hi, Stephen, welcome to the show. Good to see you. Really good to see you. Thank you for being here. And he's his paranormal colleague. Oh, pity we didn't have your email earlier, Stephen, or I would have sent you a link. Or get Paul to send you the link. I'll be sending to him shortly. Jim Sharp says hi to everybody. It's good to see Denise, Stephen. Let's keep it all going down. Angie, welcome to the show. Paul Rowland, Paul's in the house. Tracy Reeve, hi Tracy. Tracy, come off Facebook. Come off Facebook, come into YouTube. Far more stable, less chance of getting hacked. Once again, people are getting messages from me saying, hi, I've got a special message for you. That's not me. It's not me. I do not solicit reads. I do not do that. You will never, ever, ever, ever have me contact you to say, I've got a message for you. That is never going to happen. Okay, I don't do that. I've never worked like that. I'll never will work like that. That is some skanky git who has cloned my page and is trying to con you. If you see that message underneath saying, you know, I watch it, on the cheek of the one I read today, it said, watch out for scammers. That's the cheek of the one I saw today. So I will never, ever contact you and say, hey, I might have a read for you. That'll never happen. The only time it has ever happened in the past is a past client and who somebody's come through to me and to warn them. Okay. And I've sent them a message going, hi, how are you? How's things going? And they would send me a message back going, yes, great. And I said, where are you? And they went, she said, well, I'm on the Isle of Sicily. And I said, be careful on those rocks. And I got an OMG back. I'm just walking along the rocks. And it was her husband. So, but that's rare in crikey. How long? 35 years of being professional psychic. Twice it's happened. So, Tracy, but the other thing as well is when people come in and join us from Facebook, have you noticed somebody in the group will get hacked or cloned or something along those lines? So Tracy Angel Reeve, please, my darling, come off Facebook, come and join us on YouTube. Go into YouTube, across the top bar, just type in Paul Francis 111 or Paul Francis Medium. It'll bring you straight back here. Less chance of getting hacked. Hi, Paul. Looks like I'm on. It does look like you're on, Stephen. Huh?
I just said something just on straight through it.
I just want to finish off saying hi to everybody. Oh, Dawn Hatton's in the chat room as well. Hi, Dawn.
Hi, I'm getting in there before you. I'm saying hello to everybody.
Yeah. Right, Maya, do your thing.
See if everyone can hear me okay.
I can hear you.
Really?
Sorry about my background tonight. I'm in the office rather than in the kitchen.
Well, we're in the kitchen for a change.
So I thought I'd go in the office because I can close the door then, and no dogs or anything. But I need to clean up the background behind me.
Well, I was on my way to see the new house today. I had a meeting at the new house today. Meep, yeah.
Hi. He seemed to
And
be
I was
like
driving along thinking, I wasn't even aware that you were there. I was driving along thinking about what I needed to talk to the agent about. And I was just thinking, the next thing I saw the flashing lights from the hand going, oh, it's gone, right?
I've got a big black Mercedes, and that's the second time you've come up behind me, or I came beside you last time.
Yeah.
And you're oblivious. Didn't have a bloody clue.
He never does.
Me. About to go. Oh, hello.
Yeah. It's like I've got a private plate and everything on it. It's not like it's inconspicuous. It's like, you know who I am.
It says on Dawn's car, earbird.
Earbird.
Earbird. Right, folks. Before we do absolutely anything tonight, I am going to share something with you. I partially shared it with Dawn, okay? But this is something I'm gonna share with you all. Even Madam here doesn't even know about it yet. Look at my ghostly figure. You see that?
Yeah, I noticed you've got a bit of an aura going on your hand tonight.
My
Your aura.
You don't. It's just me.
Mine is right. Yours is like, and you know, in Back to the Future when they start disappearing. That's what yours is like.
Well, that's me. I'm going to be disappearing, and she's going to take over the show. It's this camera here.
Maybe it needs a white.
No, I like the idea of this.
I like that.
It's cool.
I like that.
Barry Hendricks is in the house. Hi, welcome. Good to see you guys. Thanks very much for being here. Right, so I want to get this out of the way because this is something that's slightly it's intriguing but slightly scary all at the same time. So a couple of nights ago, I was having a real restless night. I just could not sleep. There was that feeling you get when somebody's watching you. I was getting that feeling like somebody was watching me, and I was like looking around the room. The next thing I could hear somebody walking across the room. So I thought, oh, Johanna's got up to go to the bathroom, and I turned over, and I'm like, all right, that's weird. So I'm like looking around, and it's pitch black in the room anyway, but I'm looking around the room. But in the far corner of our room, we have a one of them discs, the BT that boosts the signal around the house. So, and it gives off a blue sort of light. So I'm looking, and I can't see anything, and nothing is breaking the light, but I can hear footsteps in the room. So I thought to myself, well, my guides are all here. Nothing's going to happen. They're all here. So, and I've got my mum's rosary literally hanging over the top of the bed from where I live, where I sleep. So our bed is square like that. My mum's rosary is kind of hanging on my side. I always keep it close to me. So I'm off going to sleep, and I kid you not, it was around about 3:30 in the morning. I get this unmerciful electric shock in my mouth. I'm like, sat up in bed, went, what the hell? And I'm looking around the room thinking, what the hell was that? And a proper. Now, anybody who's ever used microphones in the past, if you've been on a microphone singing, you get too close sometimes, if it's short the mic, your fingers, your lips will like that. You go, like that. Only this, take that and then times it by 10. It was a full-on sparkly electric shock. Now, because my mind goes to what it might be first, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe I've created static in the bedroom and moving my head around. No, all our beds are cotton, all our sheets are cotton. I'm like, yeah, like that, Barry, but like putting your tongue on a square battery. I mean, proper wow! Oh my god! And I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't feel anything. But the following day, ladies and gentlemen, this appeared, and I'm going to show you. This appeared. Are you ready? everybody. Boom. Now that looks like a thumb and prints like that on my leg.
Oh my God.
And the same night that you had that, a friend of mine put up in our chat box, she had like a lesion right the way around her ankle, like she'd been tied up all night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Maria's in there. Hi, Maria. Welcome to the show, darling. Good to see you. So I woke up the following day and having had a full-on electric shock at my mouth, woke up the following day with a thumb, and you can only see, well, it looks like 4 or maybe 2 like that. So they grabbed it kind of like these 2 are spread out, and they grabbed it like that. But that was my leg the following morning.
Is that like your thigh or is it?
That's my thigh. Yeah, there's my knee, and that's my thigh, and you can literally see that something's gone from and grabbed me like that. Yeah, I've got my jeans on. You can't see. And that was on my thigh the following morning.
Did you do a clearing around your house?
Oh God, yeah.
Did you find anything? Did you find anything?
No. And weirdly enough, as I finished the clearing, the whole house seemed lighter. Really light. So I was like, do I tell anybody about this? I had to tell Johanna because I wear shorts all the time. I live in shorts, and she's going to go, what's that on your leg? Yeah, so I had to go to her. Well, look, remember I shot up in the bed because she always goes, "Are you all right, babe? Are you okay?" And I'm going, "Oh, yeah." Like, somebody just showed up, 9-volt battery in my mouth, but it was full like that. I woke up going, crikey, and I had even thought that maybe one of the phone lines had, or one of the like one of these had fallen onto the bed, and maybe I'd put it in my mouth by mistake. And I tried it again. There's no shock from it. So I don't know where this came from, and that appeared. I'm not sure of the history of the land, Julia, to be absolutely honest with you. Well, the historian in our team is actually her down there. See her? She's the historian.
Do you want me to have a look at what's on at Glenavon?
Gunhavern. So I have no idea. It will be a great thing to look into, and maybe we'll talk about it next show. Julie Sharp says that's not good, Paul. Do you think? I told you last week, the week before. I feel like I'm being watched in my sleep. Always, I get shocked. Oh, yes, she did. Julie did say that. Actually,
these things happen to people that are like, if you're awake or you're awakened, then your light is shining brighter, so it makes you a target.
Yeah.
If you go to sleep, then something might come in and attack you, or you might be battling with something, I've known people to get these marks in their sleep, and it's normally something paranormal going on.
Well, that happened this week, so I wanted to share that with you all. And then Maya's thinking, okay, I'm sleeping in Dad's room tonight. I'm not going to go to bed on my own this evening. So,
how scared do you think I am of everything? Oh my Lord!
It's a good excuse.
But you can handle it.
Yeah, I'm not bothered.
The only thing that I'll really get worried about is if I open your bedroom door and you're floating around the room like that. I'll be like, oh, okay, that's probably not going to be bad. That's going to be. But she sleeps. She has Holly with her all the time. So, and Holly would go, and we don't hear nothing.
No, I've had a few times where she just barks and nothing. I'm like, oh.
Oh yes, a couple of times she looked up the corner and was barking, but that's about it really.
Stupid o'clock in the morning. I'm like.
Steven says he always feels like people watch. No, but it's kind of like I'm hey, it's what I do. But when it's so intense, it kind of, I'm like, all right, what's going on here? Because I can say, my mom and dad are coming around to check in on me, or my aunts and uncles, or my friends, or somebody who lives in the area might be sticking a head.
They wouldn't do that.
But this felt like somebody was like that, and it felt kind of ominous, really. But anyway, so I went and
Ran
I
around.
did my ritual for clearing and ritual for what I do before I start working and all that malarkey, and I genuinely felt the feeling it was gone, absolutely gone. So
Now, Julie Sharp says she's invisible.
Sharpie, you're never invisible. Good to see you, sweetie.
That's the
I did
best
say
super.
hello to good Julie Sharp, didn't I?
Yeah.
Right. So if you've had, now Stephen said if you've had experiences like that, we want to hear about it. That's what this show's all about. It's about you guys. Oh, hey, speaking of which, what are they supposed to do?
Sorry.
Supposed to put your hand up over your nose and laugh.
My God, the chair's very squeaky. So we want to subscribe and share the show so everyone around and all your friends can see it and join, so we can know everything about your
What do we need to do with this?
Like and share the show so we can know about your experiences.
If you haven't already, please make sure you like the show and share it. So make sure you take care of that. That's really important. Okay.
We want to know your experience.
Weird one a few years ago.
Julie. I see Julie Sharp was. I knew I had said hello to Julie. She meant to say invincible. Okay.
Oh,
invisible. Just both as good as each other.
Oh, invisible as a Gary.
About 5 years ago. Hang on a minute.
We're going to be doing some
I'm trying to tell you something
very soon. What are you saying?
Wait, shh. I'm trying to tell you something.
Go on then.
About 5 years ago, I was asleep in bed, flat out. Didn't have a problem sleeping back then. But it was about the same time, 3:30, and I woke up and it felt like a tube had been pulled from like down here out of my throat. And I woke up and I was choking.
Yeah.
And it scared the absolute life out of me.
Yeah.
And from that moment onwards, I've kind of like been awake to a lot of things that I wasn't awake to before. It was literally like that Matrix moment where they pull the tubes out and unplug you, and then all of a sudden you see everything for what it really is. It's quite freaky.
I used to get a thing which the doctors, because I did tell the doctors about it, and they thought it was sleep apnea because they started giving me these stupid. What? He goes, listen, I want you to wear this for the next 3 nights. And you put on basically something that you would climb into the cockpit of a jet on. Your father. And I'm going, and you want me to sleep with this on? And he goes, well, yeah, I want you to. How the hell can you?
Strapped to your face so tight.
I didn't sleep for 3 nights. He said, sure, you sleep apnea, didn't it? And a few times I woke up and I couldn't breathe. And I remember waking up one night, and me and your mom together then, and I woke up and I couldn't breathe. And I was going, like that. So I jumped out of bed and I whacked my back against the wall. Ran and thumped my back against the wall. And I got her. And her mother turned to me and went, are you okay? Couldn't breathe. Slamming myself against the wall to get, like somebody to whack me on the back. And she turned and goes, are you okay? I said, no, I'm fine. I usually get up in the middle of the night, slam myself against the wall. But
take that out, die quietly.
If you're going to do it, die quietly. Sue Vinicum's in the house. Christine Allison's in the house. Lovely to see you all. Welcome to the show. Right. Before we do absolutely diddly anything, let's get one of our guests on, shall we? Shall we get one of our guests on? What do you think? Should we get our guest on, Maya?
Go on.
Yes, indeed.
Because he is super technical. Okay. If you have Paul, if you're watching the show, I've just sent you a link to the show. If you want to whack it across to Stephen, I'm sure we can make room for him on here too. So lovely to see everybody in the room tonight. Check if I don't know, I don't have a hiatus hernia. That was done multiples and multiples of years ago. No, I don't have that, but I understand your that request. It's very. That's the way I think first. I think eliminate the possible. You're left with the probable. So I always go through the possibles, what it might be first. It wasn't anything medical, but it was here that that airways was shut. Hiatus hernias down in your tummy. And oddly enough, my family do suffer from hiatus hernias. It runs in the family. I see Dawn's got her mug.
I have got my mug. It's gone cold now, look.
Yes,
So what do you think of these people that never suffer from illness, never break a bone, never have any like tonsillitis, appendix, hernias? What do you think of people that are like that just don't seem to suffer?
I just think they're very lucky.
Do you think it might be something else?
No, I would take a doctor's approach to that and think you've been really lucky. What do you do? How do you live? Do you live really, fitness? Do you eat properly?
Well,
do you run? You jog? You swim?
I'm 50. Grew up on a council estate. Sat on one roller skate going down the road. Always like daredevil. Never really been poorly in hospital. Never broken a bone. Still got my tonsils and my appendix and all my other appendages. I am in the same packet that I was sent here in. There's no... I returned to sender exactly the same as I arrived.
You're in the same packet you arrived in. Paul Rowland, or Obi-Wan, is in the house, ladies and gentlemen of the world. Paul Rowland. I like the Obi-Wan because I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
I've just got to cut something out.
Do you see when you came right up to the camera like that, Paul? You look like Doc Brown from Back to the Future.
You did a little bit.
He did. You look like, oh my God, he looks like Doc Brown from the Back to the Future. Everything's working right.
I've got two. I can hear myself talking.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, you sound absolutely spick and span here. You're not getting a double take from us. I know you look at a repeat, but it's not coming from here because you're clear as a bell this side, and the other camera's got its sound turned off completely. So, yeah, no, you sound absolutely clear. Oh, he's gone again. He'll come back in again, no doubt. And I was going to tell Paul, she knows my claim to fame with Star Wars, the movie.
Oh, now my sound's gone.
Oh no, your sound's gone. Your sound is gone. Is mine? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody can hear me. I'm gonna say, can she hear me? She's sitting next to me. But Dawn, your sound is gone. So come out and come back in again. Oh, she's gone. Just me and you now.
Yeah, it's just me and you.
Gotta run the entire show, just me and you.
Me and me.
So I don't know what's going. Can everybody else can hear me? 5 to 5 says Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Stephen Russell's subscribed. So shall we wait until the other two come back in again before we get on with the next bit of the show?
Yeah.
Divine intervention taking Dawn's. Hey Rob, you're the one that's got to live with that. She'll come gunning for you. You know it. She'll come gunning for you. A bit more like just a bit more baseballish.
Did your hair come through underneath?
Is it? No.
Is it not?
We're looking on the camera.
It is a little bit. Look at that.
Device not connected. It's done.
Oh no.
Oh, here she comes. Here she comes. Here she comes to wreck the day.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. You pressed the button. I didn't do anything.
No, we didn't do anything.
I don't know.
What I did was I took the picture we had. I took that away so that makes space on the bottom. But we're just waiting for Paul to come back. So maybe Paul's got a bit of an issue there. Wacky Jackie's in the house. Good evening, Wacky Jackie. Lovely to see you. You come in at the right time. Here he is. Here he is. Obi-Wan's back in the house.
I had you on YouTube in the background, and I think I was getting two of you. I think it's
Oh,
okay.
right. So you're getting a repeat.
Yes.
Yeah, you see.
Yes.
So,
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, pal. Good to see you.
Nice to see you all as well. Hello, Dawn.
Hi, Paul.
Hello. How you doing, everyone?
I'm all good. You?
Haven't seen a lot of Paul.
I was going to say, I was waiting for you to come back because I knew you'd come back because you're a superstar like that. I don't know if everybody, Maya knows, obviously, my claim to fame with Star Wars. Did I tell you about that?
No.
Right. Well, a little while ago, well, quite a long while ago now, first of all, I was on Jonathan Ross show on BBC with you too. Then I ended up, because of that, I got onto the TV show Doc Martin. Now, two of the guys that were working on the crew in Doc Martin, I got on really well with because I used to take the mickey out of them all the time because I was saying, like, you're really hacking the Cornish off because you're sounding like Bristolian and the Cornish don't like that. And they're going, that's coming from an Irishman? And I'm going, well, hey, yeah. But anyway, lo and behold, at the end of it, they were attached to the making of the Star Wars movies. And they said, do you want a slot? I was like, what? Do you want a slot on the movie? And I was thinking, right, I'll be probably shoved into, some geeky little thing, and And they went, no, you want a slot on the movie? We'll get you into the movie. And I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! And I came home, and I was watching one of my favorite shows, and Ewan McGregor was being interviewed on it, and he was talking about the last days that he was on his version of Star Wars. And he said, I was sitting on a pommel horse with all green screens around me, and I was doing that on the pommel horse. And he said, George was shouting, look at the moons, look at the moons. And he was like looking like this. And it hit me. If I go on to that, it'll destroy the illusion for me. So I turned it down. I turned down Star Wars.
Oh, well, at least you still believe in Star Wars.
All right. What do you think? It's not real?
Well, it's in colour, it must be.
Of course it's real.
Of course it's real.
Absolutely real.
You've got a Jedi here. Of course it's real.
I
know
lots of Jedis, and a lot of them aren't what they're cracked up to be.
You know, the biggest growing religion in the world at the minute is Jedi.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm joining it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a Jedi priest. I'm going to turn up with a little purple bit here.
You know that sense of the council send around every now and again?
Yeah.
You seen that? Yeah, I put Jedi down on that.
I've done that as well. I put it down as well. Yeah.
I think I might do that, actually. I think I might do that. Because they don't seem to battle island when I put Zen Buddhist. So,
yeah, why not?
Okay, I'm going to put Jedi with a hint of Satan.
You might get some discounts.
Rob G says Mandalorian. He's Mandalorian.
Deals at the moment.
So, Paul, tell us all what you've been up to. How's things and what you've been doing, and have you had any great breakthroughs lately? Tell us about what's going on.
I have been making that.
I saw you put that up on Facebook.
Yeah. It's not complete yet, but it's one of these things that sort of an idea that comes into my mind. But if I just hold it back up again, I mean, the central part is a large piece of quartz.
Yeah.
That will be energized by ultraviolet light. And then 4 pieces around the outside. It's a smaller piece of quartz, piece of marble, a piece of fractured quartz, and a piece of granite. And they will all act as sort of a transceiver, passing electricity through, and then monitoring with 2 separate sensors, basically generating a field and then monitoring the field for any change. But a very subtle energy field, but also monitoring it for any interference, change, or anything like that.
So if a spirit enters the field, it will start to engage the energy around it.
But it's like multiple sensors all combined to one. The output would be displayed on an LED display, a 10 LED display, so it'd be very visual. Audio, and the boxes I use will be able to reproject any energy it senses as light. So if that was on a table in the middle of a room and people were sitting back and we were asking and encouraging a spirit to go close, it's not going to harm you, and it sensed any change in energy by a spirit, I could reproject that to the center of the room to see if we could eliminate any activity.
See, I would like that because, well, first of all, ladies and gentlemen of the planet, you heard it here first. But secondly of all, I would like that because there's more. I think there's more mileage in that, which is more, shall we say, or organic. Is that the right word?
Organic.
Yeah.
Organic, yeah, right word. It's more organic and more connected to what really is, compared to the electronics. I mean, Don and I, when we were doing our last hunt together, I had some of the apps, and yeah, okay, my app, and she goes, "Do you really put stock in it?" I'm like, eh. And next thing, it started firing out stuff which could only be, linked to where we were. I'm thinking, okay, is this just like a one-off? Did this happen? But it did it the second time we were there as well. I'm thinking, okay, but my stock would be more into the organic way in what you're dealing with. So,
well, I mean, this is. I'll show this and I'll turn it on. This is actually a piece of Cornish granite, and what I do is attach 4 sensor wires. So if I turn it around, there's 4 different attachments on it. So either side is an electric field passing through the center of the granite, and granite is made up of a lot of quartz, other minerals, and then the opposite sides will be 2 sensors. So it's generating a field within the quartz, within the granite, and then I'm trying to detect any change from that as well, and that's multiplied by 4 with that device that I showed you there.
Now, I mean, she's very, 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 very Cornish. But now it's kind of got me thinking. All the standing stones, Dawn. And there's lots of big fields down here that's got quartz granite.
Yeah, granite pillars.
Granite pillars going all the way around them. I'm wondering, is that the same principle?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree as well. Yeah, it's in the back of my mind.
So Cornwall is on granite, which is like clear quartz. I think Paul will put me right, but I think granite is more like it's a mixture of clear quartz and cloudy quartzes.
Yes.
But Glastonbury is on calcite. So it's a totally different crystal.
Yeah.
It's interesting when you look at the different crystals, that the different districts or the different.
The interesting thing especially with most granites, but especially pieces that I look for in Cornwall, is, as you say, they're made up of a lot of quartz, which is electrically active material, or it can be energized. But there's a lot of other natural semiconductor type materials, so semi-metals, that are, not direct coppers or tins or anything like that. There's lots of mixtures, and I like that random mixture because every piece has got a different potential, but it has got this electrical transceiver
frequencies as well. So those overlapping frequencies are bound to create. If you go back to your physics studies, if 2 frequencies are overlapping each other, the bit in the middle is going to create a third frequency.
Yes.
You get sound hitting sound, and that's going to create more energy. So, wow. See, it's like sort of a cloud starting to lift from me here. Maybe as to why a lot of spirits are detected in graveyards.
Potentially.
A lot of the headstones are granite.
Yeah.
And a lot of people put granite chippings on the graves to keep them clear as well.
Yeah.
You think yourself, hang on a second. You're starting to put 2 and 2 together here and actually starting to make 4 for a change.
Well, Dawn, do you know Julo Stone Circle?
Is that down Hale?
I'd have to look it up. I can't remember the exact location. I have been there once before, but it's only about 7 standing stones, quite near to the side of the road, and they're more or less pure quartz, not clear quartz, but cloudy quartz.
Is that what we call the 7 Sisters?
I don't know. It's known as Julo, and I think Julo is a village very close by.
Oh,
I know.
let
I
me
know.
Google it.
Yeah, it's definitely in your area of the world. I have been there once before, but this is the kind of tech that I would like to try and take there.
Yeah.
And to be in and around those stones to see if there was any reactions around the stones there.
They're in Liscard, Paul.
A list card, right? Okay.
Right, okay.
Quartz monuments.
Yes.
So I'm gonna have to go up there and have a look.
Oh, definitely. We'll have to go to that. Definitely.
Yeah. I have to go. There's so many stone circles and things like that down here, and special places. Is you could swing a cat and you're on something sacred. So I mean, I've been here all my life, and I'm still learning about. I mean, I've just learned about the Dulo stones.
Well, I've been here, 40 years now. Let me think. Yeah, 40 years now. And I never even knew that graveyard existed until Dawn brought me there. Only, a month ago. I drove past it so many times, didn't even know it was there.
Yeah, there's so many places down here. You haven't been to Carnbury Castle yet, have you?
I haven't. No.
Oh, yeah,
Paul, you would. I think you would really like it. I mean, just do a Google of it and see if you can get close-up pictures, because the castle is actually built on top of big granite boulders.
Is that overlooking Mount's Bay?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of overlooking all of Cornwall.
Yeah, literally.
It's high up. Like Cornbury is Carn, it means hill, and Cornbury it's really high up, and the drive up to it is lush actually. And when you get up there, I mean, I used to go up there a lot and just sit and meditate. And I always wondered why I preferred to be up there, because the energies were just so more clearer. But I've been in the castle because at one point it was a Greek restaurant. And I went into it to have a Greek meal, and it was really, really nice.
I think it's an Indian restaurant now. I haven't been in there.
I would love to get a hold of the owner and say, listen, any chance we could have it for a night?
But it's not just the castle there. It's they've got the obelisk up the road.
Yeah.
Just up the road a little bit is the obelisk around those really weird stones and coins.
Yeah.
But the obelisk underneath, I'd love to put you in that little bit underneath it. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've been right up to it. I mean, there's like a gate thing on it.
Yeah, I'd like to put you in there and leave you there with some equipment and see what happens.
That'd be interesting. It's a big Cornish or Celtic cross pole, and it's made of granite blocks, all cut.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing is huge, and this thing is as big as or as tall as Big Ben. It was huge, and you can go inside it. Although I've never been in past. I mean, you go up and you look through the bars, but I've never actually managed to get into it. But I can imagine the energy must be nuts.
Feel into it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like there's something they used that for something not nice. I don't think it was like a.
Well, I get the feeling that there's a lot of burials up there. Because the way those stones have been set, there's no way that nature made those stones set like that.
It was used as a hill fort as well, I suppose, before the castle was built.
Probably.
Because obviously, that's just too good of an opportunity to pass up. The amount of miles that you can see from that one point is like 360 degrees, isn't it? Both coasts.
Oh, you can see one coast to the other easily.
Yeah. So that's just too much. Every war must have been fought from that position.
I would have thought so. I mean, if we're back in that day, that's an easy place to defend because you're so high up.
Yeah.
Do you want to say hi to Joan Brosnan? Welcome to the show. Good to see you again. Who else? I did say hi to Michelle. Rob's in the room. Rob G. Is there anybody else I've missed? Is there anybody I've missed?
No.
There's loads of stone circles on Dartmoor. Loads.
There's tons of stuff in Dartmoor, and Dartmoor is that'd be a place to let Paul loose, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, what a project I would love to do is to visit all of these ancient stone monuments that you're talking about, the stone circles, burial chambers, markers, places like that, with this sort of range of equipment, something new and different.
Well, we'll definitely make that happen in the summertime, because there's that place, what's it called, Dawn, where you go down underground. You know, it's like a
A
Oh, it's
fugu,
not
is it?
Clovelly, is it?
It's actually been carved out, and you actually go down on the ground. And there was one of my pals went there not too long ago,
Yeah.
and they could hear this ho 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 ho, ho, and there was all these guys in long black robes. He went stuff that, and disappeared. But so somebody was down there chanting away, doing something.
Is that one of the?
But there
That's
is
not one of the mines that you're talking about.
no. It's an actual. It's been carved out. This was it's down near Penzance area.
Is it a fugu, Paul? Is that what you're talking about?
I have no
Foggy
idea
hole.
what a foggy
Foggy
hole.
hole.
Yeah.
Foggy hole.
I have no
It's,
idea, but it's. I will find out the name of it because it's really intriguing.
Yeah.
And the energy there is just off the charts.
Yeah.
Off the charts. A place
Yeah.
where I would really like to bring Paul though, Don, is Lizard.
There's so much down there. It's so old down
Down
there.
the Lizard Point.
Yeah,
But the
that's
Lizard
the
Point
one
is
with
the most southerly point in the UK. A lot of people think it's Land's End. It's not. The most southerly point of the UK is actually Lizard Point. But that's where all the ley lines cross over.
Yeah.
And multiples and multiples of UFOs have been spotted down there. And it's got a lot of major history. In fact, I find out that there's a big thing with people who've been shipwrecked off the coast of Cornwall, all the names. And one of my ancestors' names up there,
Really?
Hugh McGann, yeah. And I was well, my mind goes to, geez, there must have been a lot of Guinness drank that day. Because the story is, I mean, I told my dad, we took pictures of it, and my dad did the research, and he was in the Merchant Navy and this and that and the other. But in and around the time where he was supposed to have gone down, he went off on a boat, in a little boat in Belfast. So we all think, off the coast of Cornwall, if we come around and go, where are we? No idea. And shipwrecked off the coast of Cornwall. So it's on that big list. But again, the energies down there of all of those shipwrecks and all of the people who have lost their lives due to shipwrecks, it's all down there. So I think that's an area that we really want to have a look at, Tom.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
Paul would be brilliant at the lighthouse.
Is that the lighthouse on the Lizard Point?
Yeah.
Yes, I have been there once. Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
it's nuts. It's even most haunted. Put that on their list.
Right.
That was
Should
on
we
their
go?
list.
When was it? Where's this one? I've not heard of this lighthouse.
The lighthouse down at Lizard Point.
Yeah,
Right down the Lizard Point. Well, it's open as a museum and a visitor attraction,
Yeah.
I think now, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's retired as a lighthouse per se.
Yeah.
But you can still go down, and most haunted were down there, and they were like doing all their thing. So and there's that other little place down at Prey Sands. What's that place called? They call it a castle. It's not really.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yes, I went there a couple of years ago. Yes.
Yeah. Actually, Johanna and I went there, and we were in. They knew who I was. They said, "Yeah, come on in." Well, actually, there's a story pre that. I kept getting asked to come. Oh, come on! We want you to come with the team. And I was like, no, no, I don't want to do that. Oh, no, come on. And then one of my close friends said, look, Paul, come on, we're going down. Come on, come down. And I went. After about 10 times saying no, I went, okay, all right, I'll do it. I'll come down with it. So we went down, and the night I decided to go down, the owner died. I said, told you I didn't want to come down.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, I didn't get anything in the castle that night. I got stuff up because it has its own graveyard. I got stuff up there. But the second time when I was down there with Johanna and they knew who I was, they said, "No, come on in, come in." And they let us go in and said, "You just go wherever you want." So we were walking around the sort of the areas that had been shut off to me because the owner died and that was their quarters. And Johanna and I were looking around, and I said to Johanna, "Are you picking anything up?" She said, "Not really." I said, "No, not me either." And the two of us turned to walk back towards the door, and this large bang happened behind us. We were like, all right. And I thought it was something had fallen in the cupboard. So I opened the cupboard, nothing in the cupboard, and the door was locked because I had to pull it open. So either somebody was there going, oh, I'm here, thud, and it hit this door thing, but it was a big bang happened behind us. And we were like, okay, do you want to take that as an idea that we should leave? We went. But yeah, I've never been back.
Have any of you ever been to the Witchcraft Museum at Boscastle?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been there.
Yeah, we've been there.
We went
Made me
there.
feel
I'm
a
going
little
to.
sick when I was in there.
Sorry.
Made me feel a little bit sick when I was in there. I couldn't spend a long time in there. There's a lot of
we
dark.
we had a little incident in there. This is going back about probably
All
5 or 6 years ago. There was myself and my better half Sue, and we were just wandering around looking at all the exhibits and things. And it wasn't a busy day. There was only about, I'm going to say, about 6 or 7 other people in there, and it's quite quiet. And we were sort of 3/4 of the way around, and there was a group of people behind us, only about 2 or 3. And we just walked past a particular exhibit that was behind glass, so it was all sealed off. And there was something that had literally jumped off the shelf, fallen off the shelf. Now, this is behind glass, and you imagine how many visitors that come along quite regularly.
Yeah.
And they all jumped and screamed and practically ran out the building.
Wow.
Me and Sue went looking back to see what it was. Now, I can't remember what the actual object was. Maybe Sue would be able to remember, but she's not here at the moment. But it was a particular, I mean, all the things in there are very, very interesting. But there was something that was a little bit unusual and significant, and it was as if it was a reaction to one of the visitors in the place. And I think it wasn't the owner that was there, but whoever was manning the till at the front came looking as well to see what it was. And there was nothing damaged; it had just jumped off the shelf. And they said, well, it hasn't done that before, and it's behind glass. You know, no one could have touched it, so there was no known reason.
It's your energy as a Jedi.
There you go.
Well,
Well,
funny, you know, I made the comment the other day about the amount of pictures of ghosts that I've been able to get.
Yeah.
And it is almost as if, I mean, I really hate sort of drawing this conclusion, but it's almost as if ghosts are comfortable to allow me to photograph them. It's
yeah, because they know that you don't mean it as in any way negative. You want to do it because you're like us actually. You know, the reason that we started Paraghost is because we were fed up with the idiots, you know, and we wanted to draw people to us like yourself who want to do it for the reasons of, you know, proving life continues on, you know, that for that matter, but does it with utmost respect.
Yes.
And when Johanna's at the minute Johanna's bedridden, so it's the only time I ever get the TV to myself. So I'll flip on YouTube and I'll flip through different videos, and I can only watch it for so long before I click it off because they're so disrespectful with, you know, the spirit energies around them. And I'm going, they're not performing monkeys. They're not going to jump through hoops because you say so.
No.
You know, but now here's a wee question to bring us into tonight's sort of ideal. Have you ever encountered in all of your travels, Paul, and all of your technology, a benevolent spirit, like an angel spirit, an angelic spirit, or I mean, I'm not saying that all of the spirit energies you managed to photograph are bad or anything like that, but more along the lines of the angelic realm.
You know the difference between a celestial being than a ghost, don't you? It's totally different.
Yeah.
I'd have to say no, that nothing that comes across like that. But then again, if you focus your attention when because I was able to spend a lot of time in a lovely old pub in Chester, and we always had, as you just said, Paul, absolute respect, and there was never any demands. It was always polite asking, but we were always directing these thoughts and questions towards the spirits that were within the building. So we weren't ever trying to connect with any being outside the building. The only thing, now I don't know whether it's similar or not, but one evening in the King's Head, I felt as if I'd got arms hugging me, round me.
Oh, wow.
Now this was not, it didn't make me feel shocked, harmed, hurt, or anything like that. Nothing happened. It was a friendly hug. Now I don't know who it was and I don't know why, but there was definitely someone standing right behind me, and arms come round, and I felt that round.
Oh, that's so cool! And did you capture it on video or pictures or?
No, I didn't, because I'm usually the man with the camera. I'm usually behind the camera, which I'm with. So I always have this problem that there's nobody around operating the camera quick enough. Steve will jump on my camera if I walk away and do something. He will stand there and take pictures, and he knows how to operate my camera. But not that particular night. But as you say, it was a very comforting feeling. It wasn't. I think I become quite teary thinking about it at the time, because I felt I was so happy to have had that experience.
Oh, amazing!
It wasn't harmful. Most people, as you said, if you look at YouTube stuff or stuff on the TV, they perpetuate the fear and the shout and the scream, all this kind of thing. Well, I've never done that. And I think that's the kind of reward you can get if you've got a good train of thought, a good mindset.
A good, you know what where it stems from? A good heart.
A good heart, yes.
A good heart, because your energy comes from within. You center your energy is your heart energy, your heart chakra, and your energy passes out. And any energy, it's when people come up to somebody, and you interlink with that person, and they go, it feels like I've known you for years. And this, because they're feeling your energy, you're feeling theirs, and it flows correctly. Equally, the opposite, you'll feel, when you come up with somebody like Dawn, you go,
no, I give up that energy.
I'll tell you what we can do one night, not tonight. We'll sort it out and set it up. Get Steve to come on, because we had one particular interesting night at the King's Head, and I photographed a figure, and he's in the same photograph as a ghostly figure. And it's the only time that I've ever caught a person within a photo, and a living person with a spirit. And
Steve's living.
On the next day, or next couple of days, whenever I looked at the pictures, and I contacted Steve, and I told him about it, and he says, "That's brilliant." He says, "But the best part is," he says, "I'm on the photo as well." But joking aside,
he sounds like my kind of guy. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to doing some stuff for you guys.
Joking aside, he was quite right that it had captured a living person alongside a spirit as well. But there was other photographs on that night, so we can talk about that another time.
Oh, we'll definitely do that, because there's a couple of. You reminded me of an amazing picture, and unfortunately it's in the majority of our personal stuff is all in storage at the minute because we're moving house again. But there's a picture just the first Christmas after my mom passed away, and we were putting the Christmas tree together. And Christmas time was my mom's time. It was her thing, And I mean, even my pals who I've known since I was 14 years old, they would come to our house not to visit me, but to visit my mom. And all my pals used to call her mom, and she used to talk with her Lurgan boys. And so they would come around to see the tree that my mom had done. She was amazing. So literally first Christmas after she'd passed, I'm leaning down at the tree, and I'm putting a bauble on the bottom of the tree. So I'm kind of on my hunkers kind of thing. And somebody was, I don't know, it was Maya or Madison or somebody took pictures of me while I was putting the bauble on the tree. And you can see a pair of arms around my waist. Literally see like a pair of arms like that right around my waist. So when you said that, I was like, it brought me right back to that moment when I first saw that.
Did you feel a presence with you, or was it just?
I mean, to be honest with you, I was so wrapped up in thinking, this is my first Christmas not having my mother in my life physically, And I had been sort of wrapped up in that, and I was finding it difficult. But weirdly enough, it's the 2 times of the year that I seem to miss my parents the most. And I remember when my dad died on Good Friday, literally Good Friday. So our Easter weekend was his wake, and he got buried on Easter Monday. In Ireland, it's really, really quick. You die 3 days later, you're laid to rest. It's really quick in Ireland. So, with all of that happening, I suppose I was tumbling like this here, dealing with my dad's loss and so on and so forth. And then there's a big story I'll share with you guys another time. And then I remember going to do my Christmas shopping, My dad was an outdoors guy. He loved being outdoors. He loved being at football matches and things like that. So I always bought him really nice, big, cool, cardy kind of things, big, thick things that would keep him warm. And I went and reached for this cardi going, oh, my dad's going to love this. And I picked it up and it just went, he's not here anymore. And I broke down then. And from Good Friday to Christmas, I was okay. It was then that I went, and I mean a proper nosedive. And it took me days to get past that. And I'm a professional medium telling people, your family's great, they're all together, everything's tickety-boo. But I'm still very much aware of how people deal with things. There's a pictures, though. Take us away from the negatives. Paul, quickly. There's a picture I've taken, and I was coming back from doing a show up country, and I was on the train. I was coming back from London, and I was in first class. So, oh, you don't travel first class? Oh, okay. So I'm taking a picture, and I've got the camera, and I'm taking a picture of myself in first class, and you can see a face looking over my shoulder here, clear as bell. A face looking over my shoulder. So when you were talking about that with Steve, it's amazing how I'm going, oh my God, yeah, I've got one like that. And you can literally see a face here where my hand is, clear as bell. And it's almost like it's sort of looking that direction as I'm looking this direction. So it's not a reflection of my face. Lovely stuff. Don, you've caught some crackers though.
Yeah. Hey, I've caught some crackers.
Yeah,
I've caught loads of things. I've caught loads of I like going through sky pictures and going through the editing suite on my phone and trying to find like the ships and anything and everything up in the sky. I love it. And the pictures that we took of Kenwyn, I'll go through my editing suite and it'll pick up on things that your eyes can't see. So yeah, it is an adjusted photo, but it's only adjusted to something that your eyes can't see.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm photoshopping it or putting things in where they aren't or anything like that. I was going to ask Paul, what do you think about those Aura cameras? What they called? Crux cameras? Are they called? But they take a picture of your aura.
Yeah. I'm going to say 50-50 because it's a Polaroid photo that's overlaid with another photo of some kind. So the electric field output you see is not captured directly from the person. It's generated with technology and placed upon. So it's like two layers of photographs.
Right. Yeah.
One on top of the other. So I would say it's not capturing an aura generated directly from the person as if it's around them. It could be generated from an electric field from the person and reprojected as a second photo and mixed together.
Right. Yeah.
I've seen have you seen these glasses? A few months ago that came out, and I'd seen them on a few of my other channels, and it's these glasses. I'm sure are they called Dionysus glasses or dioxide glasses?
Not dichroic.
Maybe no. You put them on and you can see the spirit. You can see spirits.
I met and spoke with a chap some time ago who had got one small piece of, I'm going to say it was a purple tinged piece of glass, and I think possibly the same thing, but it wasn't made into glasses, so I haven't come across them as glasses.
I'll have to find the link and share it to you because there's a guy on Telegram, and I'm sure he's got them on his site. I mean, I haven't bought them. I haven't really looked into them. I just wanted to know what your opinion. I can send you the links so you can check them out.
Yeah, I'd love to check it. I suspect. I won't speculate too much. I suspect they filter everything out, but UV or purple, blue UV, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is the magical wavelength.
Like layered.
Yeah.
That's almost where infrared comes in as well, flare.
Yeah, but infrared's the wrong end of the color spectrum in my view.
But they're picking up shapes that we can't see.
Yes, but I prefer the blue, purple, ultraviolet because it's a more powerful form of light.
Well, in those pictures you showed us, you did them in the different, the blue, purple, and green, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You could see lot of changes in the different spectrums.
Yeah.
I'd like to invite anybody in the chat room tonight because everybody's listening to us all gabbing away. Well, us three. Maya hasn't said a word yet. Normally, you can't get her to shut up.
I feel sorry for Maya. I think Maya should speak.
So, but, if anybody, because Maya's sort of monitoring the chat room, if anybody would like to put a question to Paul or ourselves, please put it forward, and Maya will interlink with it. Do you have any questions for Paul?
I've got a question for Maya actually. Being a lot younger than us, not much, but a lot younger than us. What's your what's your take on paranormal? Because obviously you've started going out and interacting more with what your dad does. What's your take on the paranormal world from a younger person's point of view?
I always get asked this question. Well, I've just always been brought up with it, so I just find that it's like second nature.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. You know what I mean, though.
Well, but the thing about it is like I've never sort of said, "Well, you're going to learn about this stuff." I've never tried to drag her into it. She was always in my studio, and she was always in my where I did all my work, and she would ask me about questions, and I would give her books to read, and so on and so forth. And then one night she came to me with this amazing story of the Sparklies. She calls them the Sparklies. Do you want me to tell the story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, she was only young and little, and her room was next to ours. So you ever get that feeling when you're lying in bed, right? You know somebody's watching you. You're asleep, but somebody's watching you, and you kind of get the feeling somebody's watching you, and then you open your eyes, you go, "My God, madam." Only she's so thoughtful of you. She's trying to talk to you without actually disturbing you. So she's going. My God, I'm going. My God. She goes, what? She goes, sparklies are in my room. And I said, what, babes? She goes, sparklies. Sparklies are in my room. So I said, oh, okay. So I got out of bed and I took her by the hand. We walked back in and I said, where are they? She goes, they're gone. But they were there. They were going around the TV like this, constantly going around the TV. And I said, well, they've gone now. So she hops back into bed. And it was the following night, was it the night after?
I honestly, it was so long ago.
It was either it was a frame of 1 to 2 days, something like that. So once again, I feel this little breath on my going, and I'm going, and this time I kind of sort of half opened my eye and I went, yeah. She goes, Sparkly said I should get in bed with you. So I just lifted the quilt up and she climbed through. And the Sparkly said I should get in bed with you. But the Sparklies, I mean, if you tell Paul, because I mean, Paul works in creating these amazing gadgets and machines to capture stuff like this, and you saw something that none of the rest of us have ever seen. No. So tell them what they were like.
Oh, do you know how long ago this was?
Oh, you remember, because that was something.
The last time I was on with Maya, I'd asked it. If you'd asked, I tried to call them back to you or tried to see them again. Because I think that they're your guides.
I haven't had anything for a long time.
You're saying that. She's the one that caught the biggest orb that I've seen in many, many, many years. I don't know if you saw it on our Facebook page. Big, huge blue orb. And I didn't extrapolate that. That's taken, and I just literally cut the background away, and you're getting it at the size it was taken in this church ground, Paul. And I kid you not, the orb was the size of a 50-pence piece. It was huge, and she caught it. And there's Dawn and I have been doing it multiples of years. I mean, I got this lady sitting on her gravestone with her legs crossed. I got her, but she caught this huge blue orb. But the story behind that is Johanna's son who passed away. Johanna didn't tell us. She had asked her son to work with us, come with us, and stay with us, and keep us safe. And I kept saying, I mean, Dawn will testify to this, and Amanda was there too. I kept turning around, didn't I? And I kept going, there's somebody behind us. And she's going, where? And I'm going, I keep feeling there's somebody directly behind us, like this. And sure enough, when I got home, Johanna said, I asked Daniel to keep you safe and to walk with you guys and keep you safe. And she caught this big blue orb, which is, for me being who I am and what I do, I would depict the blue being male and the pink or the red ones being female. But monster orb, madam here. But the sparklies, come on. I mean, how she described them to me were little like if I got you to miniaturize a fairy and that kind of brightness, only there's loads of them all like going around the TV.
You know when you see like static on a TV, it was kind of like that, but like just.
I'm not unfamiliar with it. We don't know the cause, but very, very occasionally, not very often, my other half Sue, who's she's interested in this subject, but she's not as interested and deeply involved as I am. But she has seen sparklies at the back of our TV set on more than one occasion. We can't attribute it. We don't know how to attribute it to anyone or anything. But she's quite open and honest that when she sees them, she speaks out and sees them. So I'm not unfamiliar with it. It has happened. I do know of it.
They are on a TV as well.
It was a TV as well. What we had, it was like one of the old TVs. It wasn't like, yeah.
Right, I'm not seeing any questions from anybody in the chat room tonight. So what I'm going to quickly do, guys, is I'm going to stick on. I mean, I had 4 videos lined up for tonight, but let's if we don't get them all in, that's no biggie. So the very first video is this one here. I want to whack this on. So first of all, I need to present. I need to share.
We've been on this for an hour and 12 minutes.
That's all right.
How time flies.
How time does fly. Let me see. Is it that one? I want to get the right one. Right. Oh, on Dawn, a UFO caught here in Cornwall is one.
Lots of them.
It actually says UFO caught in Cornwall.
Yeah.
It's like what I filmed. So here's the first one tonight, James, ladies and germs. I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you guys all see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So watch very, very closely to this particular screen. As you can see, the angel has been caught and it's highlighted in red there, but the full footage I'm about to show you.
Here it is.
There you go. I mean, I'll show it to you again. It's so quick. I'll show it to you again. Hang on. It's so fast.
In mall. The video you're about to see shows an angel sighting caught on cam at a mall in Indonesia. Children come running up the spot moments after the angel leaves, and many believe this to be one of the most realistic footage to be ever recorded of an angel. What do you think? Here it is.
Just play it back one more time quickly, Paul. There was something I spotted on that.
No problem.
It shows an angel sighting caught on cam at a mall in Indonesia. Children come running up the spot moments after the angel leaves, and many believe this to be one of the most realistic footage to be ever recorded of an angel. What do you think? Here it is.
The bit that I'm intrigued is the people shooting over to the exact spot and they're looking at the ground thinking, what the heck was that?
The bit that caught my attention was as the figure falls to the ground, it illuminates the ground underneath it. It's not just a figure that you're looking at, but there's light projected downwards over quite a large area as well. which is
yeah.
interesting.
I mean, I'll try and stop it in that spot. So there.
Yeah. But before that, as it's coming down, as it appears at the top of the screen, it's projecting light downwards below itself. It'll probably be very difficult to find the spot.
I'm just going to try and do it. I'm doing one frame at a time here.
I think you have to let go of it for it to.
Oh, yeah, it's not allowing me to do that. That's weird. So, oh, yeah, but so there's it just before it hits. And you're right, Paul. I mean, you can see the ground lit up.
Yeah.
There's a reflection of the light. You can see the shape of the being. That's well weird. It won't let me. So one more time. This is the final time. So, ladies and gentlemen, and our special guest, Paul, Obi-Wan, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I find that quite curious. I haven't seen that one before. I've seen ones that you mentioned earlier on where, say, an angelic type figure has saved somebody from being run over or knocked over and things like that. But I've not seen that one before. That's curious. But I say the bit that caught my mind is the projection of light from above onto the ground. So it's not just the figure that's appeared. There's something that's happened before the figure has appeared as well. So that's curious.
I like it. I love the way you think like I do. Okay, hang on a second. Well, let's not all jump in yet. Let's bring it back a smidge. No, I can't see a pole. Dawn, come on, my darling.
Well,
Am I? Come on. As Paul rightly says, you're younger. What do you think?
I think that video is really good, and it obviously shows you the shape of a human version of an angel. But I think an angel is a label that, it's not that I don't believe, but I think that we get confused between something that could be Alien, E.T. Do you remember that film Cocoon?
Yeah.
When they had that light body.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Good point. But did they have big wings?
well, what did he need wings for?
Here's the thing.
He's got a body. He's flying.
Angels never had wings up until Da Vinci created the wings.
The archangel is supposed to have 6 wings and 4 heads and look out this way, and there's not supposed to be pretty looking things.
Well, actually, I was going to say that when I was being trained and we moved into the field of angels, they said not all angels are the beautiful looking people. Some of them are quite grotesque.
Yeah.
And in fact, they are depicted on some churches. Have you seen the little monstery looking things?
Gargoyles, yeah.
Yeah, they're actually from the angelic realm.
They're guardians of the church. That's
So I want to see, now here's Stephen. I don't know if you can see this, Paul, but Stephen says has cobwebs. Is it kind of a cobwebby thing? That would be if it was a camera and it was staying still and moving like that, I would be like, okay, let's look at the cobwebs. But this thing goes down and up and away. So it goes shoop and then shoop, like that. So it's number one, moving too quick to be any kind of human, moves way too fast. And number two, as Paul says, it illuminates as it's coming down. I'm loving what my aura is doing on the screen. See how Paul looks?
See what Rob's saying? Do you see what Rob's saying, Paul? That it looks like the undersea entity in the movie Abyss. You know when that
yes
thing comes out.
Because it's like it looks like a big stingray, but it's like angelic in its way. Yeah, there is a good crossover there. Those are good valid points. I'm absolutely
in that. What do you admire?
I don't know. It looks a bit.
She's got her teenage head on tonight, Paul.
I don't know.
Do you know how many people around the world that I told about your braiding Johanna's hair?
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Thousands of people have seen it.
It was literally just super quick.
She went, there you go. And Johanna went, is she done? And I looked and I went, let me see.
After Orders and 35 years in hairdressing. I think I could braid in my sleep.
I took pictures of it and I showed Johanna and she went, bloody hell. And then Johanna's this morning, she's sitting on bed and she went, this is really good. She did a really good job.
Don't do a good job. She'll keep on asking you.
Oh, no, that's what we want.
Up with it.
So what's your feelings on this, what you've just witnessed? Come on, speak your feelings.
So,
if you don't believe, don't worry. I'm not going to give you grief.
What's your gut instinct say?
Yeah.
That it's just edited in. Because
you've got more of a computer-minded brain than we have. So you would be able to make sense of it.
I can see most things that have been edited, but like I just don't feel it.
And that's not the most important thing. If you don't feel it, then you're never going to believe it.
Here's the thing, though, and listen, I mean, there's four corners here, right? Maya's put her point forward, my point. My point is, the bit that got me, Paul's point was different. The bit that got me was the people who ran over to see what that was and went to the exact spot. Because they were like, they were searching and like, looked like who put it there. And you see them like going, what the hell's that? You know? So that's what gave me more authenticity. What happened post the actual being than the actual being, weirdly enough.
And also, those people ran towards it. They didn't show any fear. I mean, a lot of when incidents take place, there's usually people will go to a certain point and stop and not go too close, and they went straight to the spot.
Yeah.
And one was actually looking at the ground to see what was.
Get there.
So, Dawn, what's your thoughts?
I believe in the footage.
Alien.
I wouldn't know whether to say it was alien, angelic. I don't know whether they all come under the same umbrella. Ghostly, I don't think it was ghostly.
No.
I think it was definitely a light being of some sort.
Of some sort, yeah, light being
we
of
get
some
shadow
sort.
men. We get shadow men and those sort of things. But there's also the light beings that are around us as well. It's just because we're not tuned into them, and most people are going on paranormal hunts and things like that, and they're looking for the dark shadows. That's what they're going to find. If you want to have you've got to like attracts like. So you've got to go in looking for the positive. So yeah, I think I would like to say that it was in my own personal belief, saying that I would say that it was angelic. But it could be an alien. It could be, I don't know what my definition or other people's labels of that would be.
Right, I deliberately selected this one because I knew Paul would be on the show tonight. This one I deliberately selected. I've already made my mind up about this because I watched it about 5 times. Okay? He's hiding. Now, and again, you know, your point of view is very valid. So here we go.
Yawning, we're keeping her up.
I'm going to share this one with you. So this is at an actual church. Now, I want you to take stock of the church before I even press play. So look around the church, okay? And I'm sure Paul's now, he's gone into full scientific mode, and he's looking at lights and where the light is shining and so on and so forth. So here we go. You ready?
I am buying that one. That one looks like a projection.
Yeah,
with smoke and the candles going through or something.
I think it's edited over the original, and also if there was something phenomenal going on in that building, you would hear the congregation screaming and shouting. yeah, there'd be fingers pointing and calling out to it. So, no, I couldn't go along with that.
Here's the thing, right? So, and Julie Evans agrees with you guys. I agree with you guys. I'm not arguing with you, right? This is not me trying to fight my corner. Now, this I think by the look of the mass, this could well be a funeral. Okay, because that little chalicey thing that they have, which swings the smoke, and the smoke is supposed to clear energy around the casket and so on and so forth. But as the smoke rises, it nothing's happened to it until it gets to a certain point, and then it illuminates. So I don't know if you noticed that or not. So, and like everybody in the room has said tonight, not one head turned over towards that huge bright light. But we'll watch it one more time, so that we can share together. So here we go. So as you see the priest walking around, and he's swinging, and I've forgotten the technical name for it, but he's swinging, and the smoke rises, and then just watch as the light starts to appear. So he's swinging that smoke, you can see it rising a little bit. Good smoke.
There's also at the bottom left of the screen, there's a gentleman with a bluish jacket on, closest to us, and he actually looks over towards where the image is. Now, if I was standing next to somebody and that appeared, I'd be tapping them on the shoulder and pointing and saying, "What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that?" And there's none of that at all.
Right. So we've got two more to go, and Paul, this one's right up your alley. So everybody in the not impressed looks at it. Everybody's agreeing with the fact that we think it's Penny Pridemore. Penny, welcome to the show. That looks projection. Yeah, a lot of people are going, that looks projected. And I'm going to say, I think it's something along those lines. But let's get ready for this one, because this is really right up Paul's alley. I'm going to say nothing until I wonder, see if you guys actually have seen it. Let's see if you noticed anything. So here we go.
Featuring a seemingly ordinary boy posing in his home. At first glance, it appears like any other relic from the past, a glimpse into a bygone era.
First and foremost, I have to say that guy's voice is annoying.
However, closer inspection reveals a chilling anomaly.
Right, before I go into this bit, anybody notice anything?
I've seen this one before. It's the
well done. My God, what did you say?
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Have you? Paul, did you notice anything?
In his mirror.
It's the same face looking through the mirror, but you couldn't have him looking at the camera and the same face reflected in the mirror.
Spot on, correct. There we go.
In the background, a mirror casts a haunting reflection of the boy. Yet it's not reflecting what it should be. Instead, we see the boy looking straight at the camera, when in actual fact, we should only see the side of the boy's head. Since its emergence, the spectral snapshot has ignited a frenzy of speculation. Some are quick to dismiss it as a clever manipulation. Others, however, find themselves drawn to the mystery, contemplating the inexplicable and the realm of the supernatural.
See, that's really weird, because I was watching a video the other day, and it was a guy, and he had a piece of paper, and he put it up to a mirror, and he had his hand, so I'll do it this way. So he had his hand up to a piece of paper up to the mirror, and he had his hand behind the piece of paper, and he wiggled his finger, but the mirror was showing that he was wiggling his finger, and it's like, if the mirror can't see the reflection, how does it know your finger's moving?
Well, it must be. If you could see it through the mirror, it's got to be reflected.
No, because there was something. So his hand and is directly behind a piece of paper, so you can see your arm, but you can't see your finger moving. And the mirror showed the reflection of his finger moving.
I'd like to see that.
I'll see if I can dig it out and send it on to you. But I thought that was like quite weird, and that seems to be doing the same thing.
Paul, what's your thoughts?
At best, it's 3 or 4 mirrors set up in the room to create the illusion, or even another photograph set up. It looks like there's a folding screen. The shot in the mirror, the background, it looks like there's a folding screen. So, it could potentially be a photograph of the child, and they've just set it up so as it looks like a reflection, but it doesn't bode with me at all. Too indistinct.
There's another interesting point here, that there is a light refraction on the wall behind him.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
That's obviously coming from a source, probably from the camera source. But why would it go to one singular spot? Because if a flash is going to go off, it's going to fill the room. It's not going to go off to one single spot.
No.
So that was the bit that I was thinking, that's interesting. But Stephen has gone, crap. Crap. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for that. But here's the final footage tonight. All right, so the very final, I'm telling you, footage tonight. Now, this one I'm really interested in because it's actually shot here in Cornwall, and not too long ago either, I might add. So, for the final time tonight, here we go, as Dawn would say. Here, right on, Ari.
Right on. Where are we to?
Cornish UFO. On April 17, 2020, in the historic ceremonial county of Cornwall in the south of England, a translucent object was captured on film, baffling those who have seen and studied the footage. Filmed on a webcam across St. Ives Bay on the Atlantic coast of the northwest area of the country at around 9 p.m, the orb can be seen coming into view in the distance, hovering above the water. It seems to emit a foggy trail behind itself as it abruptly stops before shooting up into the sky above at high speed. Take a look at this one.
Hey, business owner, please do not sell at the end.
This is one of the
There's things going on the beach, but whilst that's happening, this object is just basically hovering, and then it suddenly shoots off into the sky, leaving a kind of weird white trail.
When slowed down, the footage clearly shows the white trail coming out of the bottom of the craft as it shoots off into the clouds, a phenomenon which has now become known as instantaneous acceleration. Until now, no man-made aerial technology other than drones have the capacity to conduct such feats, especially at high speed. Video analysts cannot detect any suspicious tampering with the footage, nor can they agree on what it actually is. We have seen this type of unidentified object before on the 29th of January 2011 in the ancient city of Jerusalem, where a ball of light hovered above the Temple Mount. Similar to this video, the orb descends, hovers for a few seconds, and then shoots off into the heavens. Is this a hoax, or is this really a new form of extraterrestrial technology? If you ask me, we're not alone.
I believe it. I believe that, totally.
I was going to say I've seen a similar thing in Israel and Jerusalem, which they played. There's a slight difference, and I'm not belittling the Cornwall one, but they said at the start, wasn't it shot on a webcam?
Yeah, I think it's that.
I don't know if he said what he said. It was shot on.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but let's just say if it was caught on a webcam, they're fairly low resolution, and when the light goes low, the frame rate drops. So in other words, instead of capturing 25 frames a second, it will drop to 10 or even 4 or 5. And I've seen this before, that an object moving, even at high speed, will leave a trail behind it because the camera is overlaying one image on top of another at a low rate. That doesn't mean to say there isn't something unusual happening there. There quite possibly is. but that could be why you're seeing that kind of trail. Whereas the one in Israel, I'm guessing that was taken on a higher resolution camera, and it's doing the same thing, but you're not getting the trail behind it, and that one's left the trail.
I would agree with that. And the weird thing about it is, I'm pretty sure we filmed that exact same thing, didn't we?
I think we did.
We sat in our living room, and I said, "What the hell's that?" And I managed to I caught it out in my peripheral vision, and then Maya and I went up to the window, and I took footage of it, and you see that white orb, that one, moved right across the screen like that, right across until it went out of sight, and it was heading towards St. Ives. So I think we caught it before it came into view at St. Ives.
Barry said he researched it, and it was a drone close to the beach, but it appears further away. So he says you're 100% right, Paul. There you go.
It wasn't a drone that we captured.
I mean, there's so many sightings of UFOs and UAPs and whatever you want to call them down here and all over the world at the moment. I am tempted to just say, I mean, a drone. Could that be a drone?
It's moving pretty quick. I mean, if it's very close to the camera.
Let's tell you what. Let's watch it again. Give me a second. Yeah. I'll bring it up again. It's because it's too far out over St. Ives Bay to be. And there is. If it was a drone, it'd be the drone the size of a helicopter.
On April 17th, 2020, in the historic ceremonial county of Cornwall in the south of England, a translucent object was captured on film, baffling those who have seen and studied the footage. Filmed on a webcam across St. Ives Bay on the Atlantic coast of the northwest area of the country at around 9 p.m., the orb can be seen coming into view in the distance, hovering above the water. It seems to emit a foggy trail behind itself as it abruptly stops before shooting up into the sky above at high speed. Take a look at this one.
No,
so there's things going on the beach, but whilst that's happening, this object is just basically hovering, and then it suddenly shoots off into the sky, leaving a kind of weird white trail.
When slowed down, the footage clearly shows the white trail coming out to the bottom of the craft as it shoots off into the clouds, a phenomenon which has now become known as instantaneous acceleration. Until now, no man-made aerial technology other than drones have the capacity to conduct such feats, especially at high speed. Video analysts cannot detect any suspicious tampering of the footage, nor can they agree on what it actually is. We have seen this type of unidentified object before on the 29th of January 2011 in the ancient city of Jerusalem, where a ball of light hovered above the Temple Mount. Similar to this video, the orb descends, hovers for a few seconds, and then shoots off into the heavens. Is this a hoax, or is this really a new form of extraterrestrial technology? If you ask me, we're not alone.
What I find funny is there's a Welshman presenting that Cornish video.
Do you think he's still on?
Yeah, see, the thing, there's a couple of things that I'm kind of like, all right, this is my point of view, not Maya's, not anybody else's. Number one, if a light even that big and it's reflecting off the water, and it's the same size as the light that's giving off the reflection, so that tells you it's close to the water. For that far out in the ocean, it would have to be huge. So if you think to yourself, when you look at a super tanker and you see them out on the water, and it looks like a small boat, but you know that super tanker is monstrously huge, okay? But so we know that because we've seen super tankers up close, and some super tankers are that big. They have cars that drive around them, okay? But when we're seeing them on the horizon, they look about this big. So for that drone to be that far out, it would have to be the size of a helicopter. So we take distance and equilibrium into sort of consideration here, and bearing in mind it's reflecting off the water and it's moving.
Yeah, I'm undecided about it. the difficulty is judging whereabouts it is, the distance from the camera. That's the difficulty.
Yeah.
Is it far away and very large, or is it close to the camera but quite small? And I just couldn't. I find it difficult to figure out which.
See, I'm quite suspect on the cloud that's just to the left of it as well.
So, they mean the disky-looking cloud to the left?
Yeah.
Barry sent me. He said he sent me some proof. I'll have to look at it a bit later on. But also, there's not evidence. There is a story of that very bay that we were watching just now, and it was a policeman, and he was living in one of the properties that looks out over the bay, and he was getting up to go to work in the morning. He's a copper, and he got up and he went to his kitchen window, and he had a cup of coffee in his hand, and he was looking out, and this black disc come up out of the water and shot off, and he was like, "Okay, do I tell people about this or what?"
Is this down the lizard?
Say again?
Is this down the lizard as well?
I don't know about the lizard point. I've seen a couple of the light ones down the lizard, but I'm not this one here. I didn't see shoot up in the air. I didn't see that. We didn't see that, but we did see it come right across our horizon, and the rate that it went across our horizon, it would have to be moving at the speed of a jet fighter, because it if you take it up close, I mean, it's like that thing when you see an airplane and you're going towards it and it's come towards you, it looks like it's not moving. So where we were looking out our window, it went from left to right, and it covered a distance of maybe 30 miles in seconds. It went right across. So it had to be traveling at a very, very high rate of speed. But it looked like the dot prior to it flying up in the sky. But both Maya and I watched it with our naked eyes and saw it go right across.
And that one time when we were driving back from work this one time, we were just following this thing that was going.
Oh, the thing that was coming alongside of. We've had interactions in our own. In fact, we had so many interactions, I started checking the time. Is there a big time break between the two? Right. One, when we were coming at the back, I mean, Paul won't know this, but Dawn, out the back of Clowance, the roads go right around the edge of Clowance, and we used to take what we referred to as the back road home. We turn right, follow the edge of Clowance, turn left, and come up into Nancygolan, the back way from Drim Road, it was called. And one night there was all the kids in the car, all of the kids, myself and Rachel, and I looked up and I thought, the hell is that? And it looked like the sun was following us along the top of the treetops. And the kids were starting to get a bit worried. And me being me, I'm going to want to get out and see what it is. And I stopped in the middle of the road. Maya remembers it. And I put the window down and I'm looking up. And this big ball of white light with sort of cream in areas moving like that. It's silent. No sign of it whatsoever. And of course the kids are all screaming, "Dad, no, come on, we're scared, Dad." And I'm thinking, right, okay, my interest wants me to get out and look at it, but my family comes first. So I said, okay. So I started the car up and we went on, and as you go down the hill like that, the road branches immediately to the left like that. So as we got to the bottom, this thing followed us all the way down, and as I turned left, it went like that, shot the opposite direction, and it went boom, just gone.
See,
it didn't sort of just keep going like that. It went.
I was on the way back from Truro once, and when you drive to Shortlands End from Truro, you're like on the top of it's not a valley, so you're on the top, so you can look out over everywhere. So when I drive home, I can see over to Trillisk Hospital through Milestone, and I can see over to St Austell Clay Pits. And this must have been about 25, 30 years ago at least. And we were on the Shortlands End Road, and there was like a massive, it couldn't have been any more than 100, 200 yards away from us, and probably about 200-300 foot up in the sky, there was this massive green light that was just following us, and it had a tail to it. So it had a tail, but it was this massive green orb. Then it just followed us. It followed us for about 2 miles, I suppose, and we pulled over. And as we pulled over, it shot past us. But for a time, it was just sat next to us, just going the same speed as us. But that was years ago.
I think it was my ex-mother-in-law on her broom.
Probably. But yeah, that shot Forth.
Let's hope she's not listening to
him. Wow. Well, I mean, so, you know, we got in a lot of Ghost 22 and Paraghost. It's because the paranormal isn't all about just spooks and spirits and entities and energies. And the other things, another question that's just come to mind, I thought earlier about, I must ask Paul about, but I was, you know, if you've had interactives with, you know, entities like we've just discussed tonight, energies like that, UFOs, UAPs, whatever you want to call them, then I want to hear from you. Paul, have you ever?
Long time ago, I'm going to say about 40 years ago, we were driving home from a party or an event somewhere. I'm going to say we were in North Wales area, something like that. And there was, as I recall, there was 4 of us in the car, but I think it was only myself and Sue. And it was almost like we were buzzed when something flew over us at quite high speed. And over the top, it followed the road as far as we could see and then disappeared off into the distance. Now, it's such a long time ago that I can't really give you any clearer recollection than that, other than it was an incident that happened in that way. That's the only thing that comes to mind. So I'm not dismissive of these things. That's the only bit of personal evidence from me. I'd love to know more. The little bit of footage that's probably out there on YouTube of similar things, but a slightly different subject, to the crop circle formations around Wiltshire, where there was a light sphere that hovered over a field.
Yeah.
And a crop circle appeared. Now, I know that has appeared more than one time, and one of them was proved to be a fake, but there are other ones out there that are interesting, let's say. But that's not personal experience, but similar.
I saw the video of that sphere appearing, and then the crop circle all just appeared, and a very intricate crop circle at that.
Yeah.
And they were starting to think that those were actually like maps, because they were trying to take what they find on the crop circle and attach it to star maps and see if they could make it work.
Yeah.
I'm really, really, really interested in any paranormal that you guys, that everybody's watching the show tonight, whether you be watching it right now live with us or whether you be watching it later on. But Barry says he's found the evidence to say that video that we showed earlier is fake. Fantastic. I will definitely look into that. And if it's fake, then yeah, okay, bloody good fake. But I'll hold my hands up and go right. But one of the things I'm really, really into is UFOs and UAPs. So I watch it all the time, and the information coming out now is from such a high level to say everything that you're seeing is real. They do exist, and not only do they exist, but they've been interacting and dealing with beings from other planets for a long time, and a lot of the crafts have been back engineered and so on and so forth. But tonight's about us. It's not about me trying to sell the UAPs to the world. That's for everybody's point of view. Me personally, I'm thinking that you would have to be, you know, I don't know what your mindset you would have to think we're the only beings in the universe. I personally think there's more has been happening since the 1960s, especially 1969 when we went to the moon. There's more happened since man has achieved space flight. But you know, if you think about what we're capable of today, we can actually have invisible airplanes now, aircraft. They have little cameras that take images of what's around them and reflects it onto the aircraft, which makes it.
Have you seen that? There's a material. There's a material in I think is it Japan China or Japan, one of those, and it's literally like it's like a mirror material, so and it makes it invisible. It's like Harry Potter's cloak. It literally it makes you invisible. It's bonkers. But people say when they got cloaking devices, and when I say to people, oh, that's a weird looking cloud, isn't it? They go, oh yeah, that's a weird cloud, and I go, would you not even think that there might be something cloaking in behind that, something hiding in behind? No, people don't look up anymore. Too busy scrolling on their phones. They don't just they just don't look up. Nobody takes any notice.
Teenagers.
I saw a little video clip earlier on, and it was like one of these advertising things that pops up on your Facebook feeds, because I get sort of technical things, just random adverts. And it was, I think it was a Japanese company that developed a semi-transparent plastic, very, very thin and flexible. And they stuck it on a ordinary glass pane, and it became a monitor. So they could put anything on it. So it was effectively like a flat screen TV, so you could put anything on it whatsoever. But it was a thin film that they just put on and stuck it. And I didn't look into it, and I don't know about the technology, but I've seen it coming over the years that it's been going that way, because they're able to miniaturize things so much more now.
Yeah.
That is on the cards, and especially for advertising.
If you're like me and you love tech, you love your tech, especially if you likes TVs and stuff. Just later on, when the show's over, Google Samsung The Wall, just The Wall. Okay, you can have a TV now the size of your wall, in total clarity. And Johanna went, "Do you think we should get one?" I'm going, "Oh yes, yes, we want one of those." So you can sit and watch the F1 like that.
Yeah,
like that. So yeah,
we've got a 77-inch telly. We've got a 77-inch, and I can't. It annoys me to watch it because there's too much to watch. You have to be like watching the whole screen. It gives me a headache.
Well, here's the thing now, because we have, I think it's ours 70 odd inch, or is it 80 odd inch? Ours huge. But now when we go back into what we thought were big TVs at the time, 21-inch TV, you think you need one for each eye. Like that. You're like doing this because you're so used to big screens. But ladies and gentlemen of the planet, we have been live on your screens for 1 hour and 53 minutes. We're only supposed to be on here for an hour and a half. But it's so much fun, especially with phenomenal guests like me. So Paul, we want you to be back on here, and we want Steve on as well, because we're so interested in your technology, and I can't wait to be going with our team, coming out with you, putting that technology to the test, especially when you come down here and you put it to the test with with what's available down here in the ancient ruins and the stepping stones and the standing stones, and we'll take it to Cornbray, where there's the energy up there is nuts. It's, genuinely nuts.
Just for some time in the future, Steve made a point, and I won't go into the story now, but we'll do something that we did as an experiment when the volcano erupted in Iceland, I think it was, and every single aircraft was grounded over Europe. Yeah. And we did an experiment, and that's all I'll say.
Oh, that's even on banger.
Oh, well, okay. Then we'll have the both of you on the next show, because the next show will probably be the last one before Christmas, because I always shut down a couple of weeks before Christmas to get everybody the chance to be, because you should be with your family and doing family things. So we'll go for it. It should be, fingers crossed, it should be still next Tuesday. The reason being is Johanna, her appointments are in Exeter, and they're on Mondays. So by the time we get up there and we've done all the hospital stuff, and by the time we get back, we're wiped out. So for those couple of weeks, I've shifted the show over to Tuesdays, which seems to be working, and everybody seems to be happy with it. And I hope you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for bearing with us on that particular front. But it's only for me to say, Paul, you're an absolute rock star as a guest, and we love you to bits, and we want you on here as often as possible, because I'm looking at I'm looking at your house behind you, and I'm thinking, Your poor missus. What does she think?
This is the laboratory.
You so remind me. I think you should get rid of the Obi-Wan and just call yourself Doc Brown, because it's Doc Brown.
It wouldn't be the first time people call me that.
You could just, we'll have a chat with the right people. Get the next version of Back to the Future in. We got Doc Brown here. He's here. Dawn, I'm no doubt I'll probably bump into you tomorrow or the day after, because we always do.
Only if you've got your eyes open when you're driving.
I don't like to drive with my eyes open. I use the Force.
Nice car, but it doesn't drive for you.
And we'll have Stephen come on as well, because we just want to listen to your stories. Barry Hendricks, we want to get Barry in as well, because Barry got some stories to tell you all as well. So we want to hear from you guys, ladies and gentlemen of the world. Paul wants to hear your questions. That Paul down there. And I want to hear your questions, and we want to hear your stories. So get in touch. Tell us about your ghost stories. Tell us about your interaction with spirit. Tell us about anything you've captured on film, and we want to see it. We're not going to take the mickey out of you. That's not what we do here. But you have 4 different minds. You've got a young mind when it's awake, and you've got you got mind. You got Dawn's mind, who's sharp as a pin, and you got Paul, who is super tech, and he's looking at it from a technological point of view. So you're going to have several different points of view, which are all good points of view. But we would never, and I can guarantee you here now, not one of us will ever take the mickey out of you and try and belittle you. That will never happen. I get people sending me stuff, on the quiet in the messenger call. Can you tell me what you think this is? And I often feel sad when I have to tell them, look, you've managed to catch a reflection. If you look at that, you'll see this and you'll see that and the other. I feel sad because I want to tell them, what do you call it? You call it spirit. But there is those who I go, do you know what? I don't know what that is. I've eliminated what I think it is. So it has to be left with what it's possibly, which is you've captured spirit. So, guys, if you've got those pictures, if you've got those videos, EVPs especially, we want to hear you. Now, Paul told us the last time he was on, why don't you all go back to using the tape recorded dictaphones? Okay, try, yes, by all means, get all the digital ones because they're actually reducing in price. Yes, to have a digital ones. And if you've got a phone, it's got a built-in recorder in that as well. But at the same time, go and get your old ones, dig them out, get them re-batterized, and use the old tapes, because Paul says the tapes will pick up more in the filament than the digital will.
It's because it's a magnetic process, magnetic transfer, which modern digital recorders very, very useful because they're instant. You can download them and listen. The negative side is they crop some of the higher and lower frequencies, and they don't use a magnetic transfer that cassettes. So I'd run the two in parallel and see if you get anything different between digital and cassette tape.
Actually, coming from my other background, which is recording, studio recordings, that would be because you're absolutely correct, because the smaller the microphone. Now, if you think about this, if I show this one, if I go out there, you see that silver dot? Mm-hmm. That's the microphone. Mm-hmm. Okay? So that microphone is going to crop off various levels of sound. It's going to cut them off because it hasn't got a big enough intake to be able to handle it. So, Paul, I'm going to put a challenge, that's the right word, onto you. Start using some of the big SM58 sounding mics and stuff like that. See what you can.
Well,
use.
It is a thing. On the film Crocodile Dundee, and he comes out with the phrase, and they're being held up with the kid with a knife, and he turns around and he says, "No, that's a knife. This is a knife.
Yeah.
This is a microphone."
Oh wow, that's bigger than the SM58 I've used.
This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 15 separate microphone elements, but combined into 2 channels for stereo.
We have to put that to the test.
That's the world. That's the world I work in, is to use these alternative techniques. You see,
right? We got. Hey, The challenge is set, ladies and gentlemen of the planet. You've seen it here. Now, we had planned, Dawn and I had planned on doing a live seance, if you want to call that. We wanted to do that live anyway. But it'd be really, really interesting if we did it while Barry was, or not Barry will be here anyway, but Paul was here with his kids, and especially that microphone, and maybe picking up stuff that, say, we can't hear. Okay? So that will definitely happen, ladies and gentlemen of the world. And maybe we can get Steve down as well, and we'll have a weekend of 2 different types of spirit. That spirit and that spirit.
I don't drink.
And then you're going to miss out. So
you don't need me to be drunk to be any more of a nutcase, surely.
Well, no. What we need you for, darling, is we need you to drive us around. So,
driving for life.
Ladies and gentlemen of the planet, please come together and give our lovely friend Paul Obi-Wan Rowland a round of applause. Thanks for being here once again, my friend.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, and all the digress conversations and interest. It's great. Great to talk to you all. Thank you.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for the next one. Dawn, as always, you're my superstar. Thank you so much for being here. My beautiful little daughter, Maya, the baby of the family.
You can go to bed now, Maya.
Thank you.
It doesn't get right. I'm 60. Paul, how old are you?
64.
64? You look younger than me. When we were 17, would we been down to go to bed at 10 o'clock? We'd probably be thinking about going out in the town, wouldn't we?
I'd love to.
We'd be like thinking, I'm going to get dressed and go out in the town. That's what we'd be. These
Yeah.
are like, I want to go to sleep. And I tell you why, because they're like that all day.
Been in college all day.
Oh, here we go.
Being in college all day, you should walk from college to the pub, and then you literally...
But
You haven't trained your life.
Oh, I love to. I can say to her, she can have a boyfriend and she can drink alcohol when I'm dead. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen of the world, thank you so much again for being here tonight. Paul, as always, rock star, superstar. To my beautiful daughter and to my lovely pal, Dawn, thanks for making the show magnificent. That's basically it. Thanks for making it absolutely brilliant. You guys are superstars. I'm going to say good night. God bless you all. I'll see you all very, very soon. Look after yourselves. I'll see you all Thursday night.
Night.
Be safe. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.